Duncan passed away the night of August 19th, and I'm just forewarning you guys in advance. If you are not ready for a sad video right now, now's your time to click away. I am going to be going into detail about what happened leading up to this. So all of this started about a month ago. I did make a video on it, and I basically explained that I had noticed that Duncan started having a mint green colored poop, and she was also acting very, very aggressive, which isn't normal for her. So once I noticed this, the first thing I thought was that it could be hardware disease. And what you typically want to do with that is give your duck a dose of olive oil. So what I did was I basically just dipped her bill in the olive oil twice and had her swallow just a little bit. And if she had swallowed something potentially toxic, that should clear her system. However, she continued to have those mint green poops, so I did make a vet appointment the next day, and luckily we were able to get in, and they started doing a lot of tests. So we started with a fecal sample, and that came back completely normal, and by the end of the day we had done quite a few different tests, but one that I really found important was an x-ray. If she had in fact had hardware disease, which is caused by ingesting any kind of metal, like a nail or a staple, that would typically show up in an x-ray. So we were very glad that she didn't have hardware disease, because that typically ends quite badly. So at the end of the day, we found out that Duncan was experiencing problems with her liver. I'm not completely sure if that was liver disease or liver cancer, but we do know it was definitely something affecting her liver. So once we figured out what the problem was, we of course went ahead and came up with a treatment plan with our vet. And unfortunately in the United States, it's not exactly easy to get ducks antibiotics, because unfortunately laws in place that affect poultry that people eat do also affect our pets. So if you didn't already know this, all chicken for eating in the United States is antibiotic free. Legally it has to be. And so unfortunately that law kind of affected us when we were trying to come up with a treatment plan for Duncan. So what we decided to do was prescribe Duncan 2 Chinese herbs. The first one was called liver happy, and the second one was lactulose, which is basically milk thistle. This is not something that is new or anything. Plenty of exotic vets use milk thistle for treating liver issues. It's actually a lot more common than you might think. So basically, I would give her each of those medications twice a day, and she definitely did not enjoy taking them. I think she was super just frustrated with me giving them to her every night and every morning. But about a month went by, and she seemed to be completely normal by the time that we finished up the medication. So she went from having mint green poop and being super just agitated all the time to being back to her normal self. Her poop was normal, her attitude was normal, and I was completely ready to make a video telling you guys that she was healed. I had it scheduled out. I was planning on filming it and posting it in a few days, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So on the night of August 19th, I went outside, I was live streaming the ducks, and they were completely normal. I was just doing their regular bedtime routine, answering questions on live, and everything seemed fine. When I let her out of the pen, she was right along with the other ducks, and I ended up ending the live stream. And after that, I kind of noticed that Duncan was acting a little strange. So Duncan never, ever left Donut's side. The two of them were bonded, and I just never saw them apart. So it was very strange that I saw Duncan away from Donut. So I picked Duncan up, and she just seemed to be very low energy, but other than that, she seemed completely normal. So I ended up taking this video of her, which as you can see, she's standing and she seems quite normal. And unfortunately, just 20 minutes after I had taken that video, she ended up passing away. So basically within that 20-minute time period, she went from just being low energy to being completely unable to walk, and she started kind of gasping for air. So I called our vet. I was on hold for a while because the avian vet wasn't in at the time, so they had to kind of get a hold of her and tell me what to do. And so once the lady on the phone got back to me, she was like, you can of course bring her in, but we're going to be evaluating her for potential euthanasia. And of course I broke down crying, and that was that. I was gonna take her. So I got off the phone. I called my sister to come downstairs to where I had Duncan sitting. And when my sister got downstairs, literally less than a minute later, Duncan started having a seizure. She put her neck on me and she opened her wings and she just passed away in my arms. And that was the end. I am really sad that it ended the way it did. I truly thought that she had completely healed from whatever this liver problem was, but unfortunately, a lot of times one problem leads to another, and it all just happened really quickly. So I don't really have a perfect answer as to what happened, but I want you all to know, and hopefully her story can help someone else if they ever run into a similar problem. In Duncan's honor, I have decided to sell t-shirts with a drawing I commissioned from Shop Ocean Breeze on Instagram of Duncan. And what we're going to do is all of the money that I get from selling these shirts, I'm going to be donating to Majestic Waterfowl Sanctuary. It's a rescue dedicated just to saving domestic waterfowl, and they do amazing things every single day. And I think that there's really no better way to honor Duncan than by making a donation in her name. So I have that in my bio, and just want you all to know that I'm okay and all of the other ducks are okay. And of course, it's going to be hard. It is hard, actually, and it's going to be hard for a long time. It's not something that's just going to get easier overnight. But it is super important to me that I share these experiences with you in order to tell you guys, the full story of these ducks' lives. And truly, finding vet care for ducks is not easy for a lot of people. There are not a lot of vets out there that will even see ducks, so I was extremely lucky to be even able to get her the treatment that I did, and I will forever be grateful for that. But I like to share these experiences even though they're super hard, because it might help someone else be able to identify a problem with their own duck. So hopefully this helps someone, and I don't want you guys to be really sad about this, okay? I want you to remember Duncan as the happy, adventurous duck that she was. Just know that she will always have a spot in my heart.